Good day everyone, we are the group 2 and we are going to report the social mobilization.
Hi everyone, my name is Ana Lupi Espana. In this video, I will discuss all about key elements of social mobilization. From worldwide experience, there are 4 basic elements of social mobilization. Number 1, organizational development. Organizational development, a process in which community members and especially the poor form their own groups or organization based on common development interests and needs that are the best served by organizing themselves as a group. So organization development daw is a process in which community members, especially daw ang mga mga pobre sa ilang own nga grupo, mo nang especially sa organization development. Promoting self-resilience, especially of the 4 members of the organization, which would in turn enhance their ability to participate in the organization operas on an equal basis. Then, ang mga pobre daw nga mga member i-enhance nila ilang ability to participate the organization affairs. Number 2, capital formation for development through community savings. Enhance a community organization power to realize its full potential. Accumulate saving can be used for internal credit with interest to enable individual members to engage in income generation activities, whilst at the same time accumulating the organization capital base. Saving can serve as the basis for access to external services, for example, microfinance. And that's all. Thank you.
So good afternoon everyone, my name is Princess Miga Barda and I am the reporter of Key Elements of Social Mobilization Training for Human Resource Development and Socio-Economic Development. So training for human resource development, community members can maximize their potential not only by organizing themselves but also by upgrading their existing skills to better manage new inputs of business and community initiatives and establish effective links with local government and other actors. So, ang miyembro sa community can maximize their potential dili lang kay pag-organize sa kagalingon, kundi pag-upgrade their existing skills to better manage new inputs or sa business. And the change agent can support direct training, exchange visits, and other capacity building activities based on needs identified by the members of the community organization. So the change agent or the organization or individual facilitating the social mobilization process, isa siya sa support sa training for human resource development. But nag-base lang po siya sa mga kinahanglanon nga ma-identify sa miyembro sa community organization. And this can cover by organizational development, leadership, savings and credits programs, agriculture, natural resource management, and other key areas. Local human resource development can best be promoted when trained individuals take up the responsibility to train other community members. So next, socio-economic development. Socio-economic development initiatives are a great incentive for community members to organize themselves. So, ang socio-economic development isa siya sa a great incentive for community members para pag-organize sa atong kaugalingon. And it is important, therefore, that an initiative which includes social mobilization provides support in the form of matching grants or access to credit, marketing, and other services that will lead to tangible improvements and social economic condition within the community. So, importante ang socio-economic development kay therefore, that an initiative which includes social mobilization kay provide siyang suporta sa form of watching grants or access to credit. And it will facilitate this process can result in increased institutional capacity, enhance social status, and voice. So, kung ma-facilitate siya tarong, this process can result in increase mo dako ang institutional capacities, enhance social status and voice, especially sa mga disadvantaged people including women, the poor, and youth. This result in turn motivate people to remain organized as they begin to enjoy the benefits of collective action and recognize its potential to create or influence change in their communities. And that's all for today. Thank you.
So hi, my name is Shaina Nindi Mondihar from this Mathematics 20. So for the continuation of the report, we have heard the key elements of social mobilization, which is the facilitating the mobilization process. So whilst there are grassroots or social movements that have emerged from within communities, the isolation of poverty and resulting passivity or powerlessness of citizens, particularly in rural areas of developing countries, calls for external support at the initial stages of the social mobilization process. So there are initial stages of the social mobilization process. First, we have the selection area, the assessment of the existing community based on an organization, the activist workshop, the holding dialogues, and lastly, the follow-up and monitoring. So, for example, um, these are the initial stages sa social mobilization para mapadali ang support or help sa katong nanginahanglan og help sa in that areas. Next, we have the following should be undertaken in social mobilization. First, we have the advocacy. It is an element which focuses on various actors which could create the positive environment for program or service delivery. So, advocacy means nag-focus ni siya sa various actor nga nag-ingon nga if you have an advocacy, so kinahanglan nimo or that actor nga mahimo or mahikayat ang mga tao sa imong advocacy nga mahimong effective and then nga ilang ma-adapt ang imong advocacy. So, advocacy, we should aware on the problem para sayon ra siya or dali ra siya ma-solusyonan.
Good day, everyone. So I am John J. Logroño, and I'm going to continue the discussion about the following programs should be undertaken in social mobilization. So first, we have the community empowerment and program sustainability. Okay, so empowerment is the process of people taking action to overcome the obstacles to progress, where this action involves getting more control over the situation. So there we have, so let's focus about the process, or let's focus in the word process. So process means a process of people. So process means it's a series of action or steps in order to achieve a particular end. So it means that the process of people, so they have their own thinking, or they are taking their own action with a process or with the steps to overcome their obstacles, or on how they solve their, or how to give a solution about their situation or their problems. So that's what that's the empowerment. So we can use the women empowerment as an example, because women's Empowerment can be defined promoting women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices, and their right to influence social changes for themselves and others. So they are going or they are encouraging women around and make them feel special. That's what empowered means. So like us, we are like as individuals, we have our own choices we on how we overcome the situation or to get control our situation. So let's move about the community empowerment. So it enables individuals and the community to do their own thinking and reflection to improve their situation. So from the it focus to the individuals and communities. So and the individuals and the community have their own thinking reflections just like the empowerment. So here, so empowerment focus on individuals and the community empowerment focus on the group or the community or group of people. So they have our own thinking and reflection to do their situation. It focuses on how their situation and their own thinking or they're using their thinking and reflection or applied experiences on how to improve their situation like improvise their current situation. So next is sustainability. So sustainability comes only when groups, and communities have ownership of the problem and are able to act on their own. So sustainability means it only occurs when the individual groups and communities like they own they own the problem and also they have an ability to act on their own. So they can also act on their own. So like they have their own solution like what their own solution about their problems. So let's move to the next slide. Okay, institutional development. So it seeks to improve the ability of the institutions to carry out its mandate, mission, and visions and achieve its goals and objectives. So institutional development means it helps the institution to improve to reach its goals or to achieve its goals and objectives about their institution, what they are purpose and what they are purpose and so that they can help the community. So there are key levels: system, processes, network, financial capacity, infrastructure, and management of resource. So next is networking and an alliance building. So social mobilization success depends on the identification of relevant individuals and groups which can contribute to achievement of the program goals. So the it depends on the so like the social mobilization success on depends on the relevant individuals and groups which can like if depends on the achievement depends on the contribution of the achievements of the program's goals of individuals and groups. Next is benefits of social mobilization. So the first is poverty alleviation. So alleviation from the word alleviation it means like or in other terms it means it lessening the poverty. So this description it enables communities and poor themselves to engage actively in solving their own problems and effectively tackling poverty in its multidimensional form. So means it helps. So it has benefits of social mobilization because it helps the poor individuals and the communities to engage them to engage actively in solving their own problems or making their own solution to their problems. So how they overcome this problem or this situation. So promoting democratic governance. So social mobilization must be institutionalized within government for it to be effective because this would encourage participation in decision making, building capacity for participatory planning, build a common vision on development, ensure transparency. Institutionalization of such efforts can only be effective if a decentralized system of governance, including fiscal decentralization, is in place and functional. Like so, institutionalization of such efforts, so it can be only effective if uh if there is a decentralized system of governance. So from the word decentralized, it's like a distribution of power, you know, including fiscal decentralization is in place and functional. So it's important because it can help the community to have a same vision of development, or to ensure uh, um, like to improve the situation, and also to it also the and also the individuals has benefits from this. So that's all for my report.
So good. So naga. Good day everyone. I am Niza J. Polido and I am going to discuss the continuation of the benefits of social mobilization. Environmental management. It is the act of organizing people to better manage their natural resources and fight against practices and organizations that degrade the environment through promoting appropriate legal, regulatory, and institutional frameworks and dialogue. So isa sa maka-benefit sa social mobilization ang environmental management, which means nga ang mga people sa isa ka community or sa isa ka society kay ma-manage nila ang ilahang mga natural resources na nakapalibot sa ilahang environment. Tapos ma-fight pud nila ang kanang mga tao or mga organization nga nag-aabuso sa environment through mag-promote sila og kanang mga legal actions, then mag-create pud sila og healthy dialogue between ato nga mga organizations or mga tao nga nag-aabuso sa environment. Next is the conflict prevention. As people organize to address common problems and to collectively improve their socio-economic conditions in an equitable, democratic, and transparent manner, possibility of conflict can be significantly reduced. So isa po sa benefit sa social mobilization is ang pag-prevent sa conflict or kanang chaos sa isa ka community. Kay since busy man ang mga tao or naka-focus ang ilahang goal sa ilahang sa pag improve sa ilahang socio-economic condition sa isa community, then ang mga tao pod is naka-organize to address their common problems, either minor or major problems. Nadyo possibility nga ang conflict sa isa ka community or sa isa ka society is ma-reduce or ma-prevent. Next is the sensitization and clearance. This means that sessions with local leaders and government officials. So, makabenefit po ni makahatag benefits ang social mobilization ani is kanang mag-session ang mga local leaders and government officials or naa sila'y meeting aron masabutan nila kung unsaon paghatag og solution ang mga problem nga gina-raise sa mga tao. Then, awareness raising, public meetings with members of target communities. So, diri sa awareness raising is kanang i-organize jud ni siya sa mga local leaders and sa mga government officials, public meetings, which mean ang mga members or ang mga kanang members anang community or kanang mga tao anang community is mag-attend aron ma-raise nila ang ilahang mga problems or mga concerns sa mga local leaders o sa mga government officials aron mahatagan og solution. Then, mobilizer training. Organizing the community workers unity. So, gina-organize sa mga local leaders ang unity sa community workers. Either magpa team building sila, magpa-seminar, or magpa-meeting sa mga community workers aron ma-develop ang ilahang community o camaraderie. Then, organizing. Putting together different community units or members. So, gina-organize sa mga local leaders or sa mga government officials ang kanang mga members or mga tao based on different fields. So, if kanang nga mga tao is kanang mga magsasaka, ginalahi na sila sa mga kanang sa mga lain nga mga fields sa community. Then, management training. The training of community leaders and mobilizers. Example is how to prepare and write effective project design. So, management training is kanang mga, ang training ni siya sa mga ga-manage sa isa ka community or training ni siya sa mga leaders. So, management training, pwede ni siya nga ang mga government officials is mag-conduct og seminar or kanang team building sa mga management or sa mga leaders. Then, participatory assessment. Identifying priority problems, therefore priority goals as solutions. So, kaning participatory assessment is mag-identify ni siya sa mga priority problems or sa mga major problems sa isa ka community. Dira na nila maibalaan ang mga major problems sa ilahang mga tao sa awareness raising nga kanang mag-conduct sila og public meetings. Then, kung ma-identify po nila ang major problems, therefore mag-priority sab sila og mga goals ug solutions. Next is the Community Action Plan or the CAP. Consistent with district plans and community priorities. So diri na since na-raise naman sa mga tao ang then identify na nila ang mga major problems, maghatag na sila og mga plans og mga community priorities. Kung asa nga community i-prioridad nga mahatagan og solution ang kanang nga problem. Then, community project designs, created from and submitted by targeted communities as proposal. So, kaning community proposal design is mo ni siya ang proposal sa project proposal nga para mahatagan og solusyon ang mga problems sa mga target communities. The next is the negotiation. Proposal discuss until they meet everyone's expectation. So sa negotiation, dira na nila sabutan ang kanang proposal kung unsay mali, kung unsay kulang, kung unsay dapat paotrohon hangtod nga kanang matama na siya tanan according sa mga needs sa mga tao. The next is the implementation begins. Work on community projects by community members starts. So, since na kompleto naman ang kanang na meet na tanan expectation sa mga tao, na meet na tanan ang needs, dira na dayon mapa-implement ang project nga gina-propose. Then, monitoring and reporting. Following up and preparing updated reports on development work continues. So, diri sa monitoring and reporting, kanang dira na mo-monitor since na-implement naman ang project nga gina-propose, dira na dayon i-monitor o i-report ang mga kinahanglan i-prepare pa sa mga next nga mga pag-develop sa ilahang trabaho. Then, until completion, implementation, monitoring, reporting, payments. Diraan na tanan ang until completion, ang pag-implement, dapat na kompleto na tanan. Haman na siya og implement, na monitor, na report, o payments. Syempre, bayaran man na siya ang mga materials nga gigamit sa para ana nga design. Then, last is the official completion ceremony. So, nahuman naman ang project proposal or project design nga kanang gi-raise sa mga tao ay nga gibuhat sa kanang leader, dira na mosulod ang official completion ceremony. Invite more community project designs. So invite more community project designs. So nahuman naman na nga kanang project, open na pud sila for another project designs para na pud sa lahi nga mga target communities. So that's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Eljon B. Cabrelius from BSEd Math 1A. Situation analysis. It is a collective process of examining the prevailing social, political, economic, environmental, cultural, and spiritual condition of a given community. It is a preparatory step to the actual planning process. So, ang situation analysis ay isa rang kolektibong pagsusuri kung ano ang kalagayan ng sosyal, politika, ekonomiya, kapaligiran, kultura, at ang espiritual sa loob ng isang komunidad. So, dito is kailangan mo talagang mag-obserba ng ilang buwan sa loob ng isang komunidad nang sa ganun yung matukoy kung ano nga ba talaga ang sitwasyon o kalagayan o problema sa isang sosyal, sa politika, sa ekonomiya, sa kapaligiran, sa kultura, o at sa espiritual nang sa ganun ito'y masolusyonan at mapaunlad pa ito. Roles of community workers in situation analysis. Number 1. Determine how they can improve the prevailing situation to achieve community goals. So, ang role rin raw ng community workers in situation analysis is tukuyin kung paano nila mapapabuti ang umiiral na sitwasyon upang makamit ang mga layunin ng isang komunidad. Collectively understand and define community needs and problems. So, number 2 is, dito is magsama-sama silang maunawaan at tukuyin ang mga pangangailangan at problema ng isang komunidad. Number 3, identify change strategies and resources and making decision on how to implement the identified solution. So, sa number 3 rin, sa roles number 3 of community workers in situation analysis is tutukuyin ang mga estratehiya at mapagkukunan ng pagbabago at paggawa ng mga desisyon kung paano ipatupad ang mga natukoy na solusyon. Steps in facilitating situation analysis. Number 1 is community orientation. So, sa community orientation dito is inilalarawan nila ang isang pattern o modelo ng mga halaga ng responsibilidad sa lipunan o paggawa ng desisyon o pag-uugali kung saan binibigyan diin ng mga tagapamahala ang kapakanan ng komunidad o estado. Sa number 2, data gathering. So, data gathering is pagkolekta ng mga impormasyon o datos. Data processing number 3 is pagproseso ng mga datos o impormasyon. Number 4 is preparation of community profile. Number 5 is presentation, validation, and approval of community profile. And the last one is finalization of the community profile and dissemination.
Good day everyone, I'm Joavi Mico Studio. I'm going to report community planning. Community planning, it is a process through which the people collectively define their priority problems, determine their development vision, set goals and objectives, identify resources which they can utilize and develop a plan of action to achieve community goals. Community planning involves the formulation of long-range vision, goals, policies, and strategies for achieving social, economic, and environmental sustainability within a community in order to guide future community development. Also, community planning aims to provide or to improve the connection between all the tiers of government and wider society work through partnership, working to jointly deliver better outcomes for everyone. There are 5 roles of community workers in planning. First, enable people to address their community needs. Second, develop planning skills. Third, involve community members in making decision process which they can plan. So, to make a plan, we need to involve the community members in making decision. Process in planning. Community members can help us to make a decision in planning. Fourth is provide the community members which a process which they can plan their own development. Fifth is guide the community members in developing a plan of action gear achieving community goals. We need to guide the community members to develop a plan to their actions to achieve the community goals. Next is steps in facilitating situation analysis. There are 7 steps. First steps is formation of community planning team. Second, community visioning. Third, setting of community goals and objectives. So sa third is we need to set a community goals and objectives. Fourth is identifying resources and constraints. Fifth, preparation of community plan of action and budget. We need to prepare a community plan and action and budget in this situation. 6. Presentation, community validation, and approval of the community plan of the budget. So in 6 steps, we need to have a presentation, community validation, and approval of community plan. 7. The last steps is finalization of community profile and its dissemination plan of action and its dissemination. In the 7 steps, we need to finalize the community profile.
So hello, good day everyone. I am Angeline Herrera. I am one of the reporter of Group 2 and now I'm going to continue our presentation. So my assigned topic or my assigned part to our report, which is social mobilization, is all about community management processes. Number 3, implementation. So what is implementation? So it is a process of carrying out the project and activities in a community plan. Its main purpose is to test the feasibility of the planned projects and activities and institute necessary change or modification when necessary. So what does it mean? So it means nga katong mga nakaset na mga plan is need na siya i-try para ato ang para makita ang effectiveness ana nga plan or activities sa atuang community. Maayo ba siya or dili? And if ever man nga dili siya okay or dili siya effective nga i-implement, need na siya I need nga ang mga workers nga mag-deep explore or analyze ana nga plano or activities para mahimo siyang effective or makita na nato nga kana siya is effective if ever man nga i-implement siya usab sa atuang community. So kung dili po siya kanang makita nga okay or effective or maayo para sa tong community, need siya nga ilisan o bag-o nga mga plano or activities para nga kanang mo fit in sa ato ang community. So it means nga atong mga implementation nga effective para sa ato ang community. So rules of community workers during implementation. So sa behind those implementation na magito mga tao nga research, mag-gather og information about sa kanang mga sa mga activities or mga plano nga dapat i-implement nga ilang nakita nga useful and helpful para sa mga katao. So number 1, oversee and direct the implementation of projects and activities. So it means nga, 'di ba, as a worker. So as a worker, you need to focus sa project and activities nga as a team gusto ninyo ma-implement sa atuang community. So para ma-effective siya as a worker, need yun nga mag-focus ka sa projects and activities nga gusto ninyo i-implement para effectively and successfully ma-implement na siya nga project or activities to that particular community. So number 2, we have conduct an information and advocacy campaign on the community plan. So para as a worker para mas strong ang effectiveness sa project or activities nga i-implement. So as a worker, we need to conduct a lot of information and advocacy campaign para sa plano nga atong gustong mahitabo sa ato ang community para successful o effective again ang pag-implement ang plano or activities sa ato ang community. So number 3, we have motivate community members to contribute to the projects and activities. So as a worker, you should encourage and you should be encouraged yourself nga mag-contribute sa grupo ninyo para it's like lihok mong tanan, ambag mong tanan, o share mong idea tanan para sa success sa implementation ninyo nga plano. So number 4, we have monitor the implementation. So as time goes by nga studyhan o gina-analyze ninyo ang mga project and activities, need yun na ninyo nga as a worker, need yun nga always tanawon ang kung ang kana nga nakaset nga plano is okay na ba or sakto na ba ang iyang mga other information, other connected nga mga parts or nga mga plano or mga objectives niya nga pag-i-implement na is okay na siya. So as time goes by, need nga ang status sa implementation sa inyong project or activities is being is being monitored kay para mas mapadali ug mas effective ang ma-implement nga plano or activity sa community. So we have now I am going to discuss what is community. So what is community? A community, as described by Ross 1967 and cited in Tokay 2002 in her paper regarding community organizing, it is an aggregation of families and individual areas settled in a fairly compact and contiguous geographical area with significant elements of common life as shown by manners, customs, traditions, and mode of speech. So what does it mean? So ang community, it was given nga consist na siya og family, individuals, and other sectors, which is the paaralan or simbahan. So when you say community, it was completed or pinagsama-sama diri ang katong nga mga sector. We have said those family, uh, simbahan, paaralan, pinagsama-sama sila in that particular community in which share sila og uh, share sila og same nga tradition, culture, uh, kaugalian or asal. So, uh, or and also share sila og same nga mga pananalita. So that is the community according to as described by Ross. So a geographical community must have a special interest groups and sectors. So sectors, as I mentioned earlier, those simbahan, paaralan, and other chuchu are example of sectors, and also a combination of social units and system, economic, political, and socio-cultural. So what is the next one we have? What is community organizing? So, excuse me. It is a social development approach that aims to transform the apathetic, individualistic, and voiceless poor into dynamic, participatory, and politically responsive community. So what does it mean? So community organizing, it was like diskarte para it was like a diskarte para mapaunlad ang atuang community. In a way nga those people nga walang malasakit sa community, and those voiceless, especially those poor people, to voice out their opinions, ideas, or concern para uh, ma-engage or ma-encourage sila nga makikonnect or ma-relate sila sa community. As we know karon nga ang community is along the way ga change siya. So they need to be participative and politically responsive sa ato ang community para they can engage kanang use ay successfully or ma-relate sila sa atuang community. So the next one, so another point, it is similar to a form of experiential learning and non-formal learning process. So ang community organizing daw is a form of experiential learning. So what does it mean? So it means nga along the process, di ba? Along the process of engaging, communicating, relating, or sharing your ideas. So makagather gid ka og ideas og maka-learn gid ka og knowledge about sa mga panghitabo sa ato ang community. So that is why it is a form of experiential learning. Because it was learning by doing. So as what I have said, along the way, you learn, you discover, and with that, you have the knowledge nga makutlo on that particular process of engaging or relating to our community, and a non-formal learning process. So I think it's considered a non-formal. It is because it's just learning by doing. So there is no particular nga mga ginasunod nga mga process para sa kanang learning jud nga nga normal. So, community welfare service is applying a collective, participatory, transformative, liberative, sustained, and systematic process to improve the quality of their living unity. So, so, community welfare service, they are parang kanang all around, like they apply a collective, participatory, transformative, liberative, sustained, and systematic process to improve the quality of their living. So it means nga kana sila uh, gadi study or gathered information nga which is kanang sa ato ang community kintay kailangan siya ana nga community. So gapangita sila og mga needs sa ato ang community o ilahang ginapangitaan dayon og agaran nga solution para ma-aksyonan kana nga pangangailangan sa usa ka community. So and furthermore, community organizing encourage the improvement of the basic social welfare needs and community welfare service. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Marl Kipilay Diliaba and I will discuss to you my assigned topic, which is conditions to consider in community organizations and the goals of community organizing. So, conditions to consider in community organization. First, recognize and deal with the problem accordingly. So, in this condition, we need to think critically because it is an important tool in solving community problems and in developing interventions, human services, and community development. We'll try to figure out where it comes from and to come up with other ways to understand the situation. Critical thinking focuses on analyzing and understanding its object. It eliminates, to the extent possible, emotional reactions, except where they become part of an approach or solution. When you recognize and deal with the problem accordingly, it is most likely to help you get the results you want. The closer you are dealing with things as they really are, the more likely you are to able to address a problem or issue with someone, some hope of success. Then second, provide a community self-determination. So, self-determination is both a philosophy and a process that community pathways follows to advocate that people have the right and responsibility to choose and direct the supports and services that impact their lives. When we provide the community self-determination, it is by having the people to take the rest and make choices that people are able to pursue their goals and become valued, respected, and contributing members of our communities. Being more self-determined enables people to have more of a voice in living their own communities. I believe that it is important for everyone to be able to thrive in their environment and be a part of the community. Third, engage the community in the solution of the problem actively. While everyone is indirectly affected by social problems, those who are directly experiencing the problem are often left out of the processes of identifying what the problem really is. There are ways to involving people affected by a problem and helping to solve the problem. First, you can listen to them so that you have a better understanding of the causes of the problem, the barriers they have to managing or preventing the problem, and their ideas for solving the problem. Second, they can become involved through participation in initiative or program that is being developed by helping empower them to tackle the problems they confront. It's always better for people to participate. Dapat i-engage ang community sa problema para makatabang ang kadaghanan sa pag-solve o pagresolba og makahatag pud og idea ang tanan kung angay ba na para sa kadaghanan or dili. So fourth, move at pace that is deemed comfortable for the community. A community needs is meant to bring the light issues in the community that need to be addressed. However, it's unlikely that all those issues can be dealt with at the same time. You have to make choices about what most important and timely to deal with. So, ang pagtatatag ng mga pamantayan o proseso para sa pagpapasya sa kung ano ang pinakamahalagang issue na nahaharapin kung paano harapin ang mga ito. Or, if you make those decisions well, your eventual action plan will effectively target the real needs of the community. In this condition, it will discuss how you might go about choosing criteria for deciding which issues are most important to address and for deciding on the best strategies for addressing them. We'll also look at how to develop processes for developing the choosing that are likely to result in good decisions and community support for your effort. Then, fifth, encourage growth through problem solving. In problem solving, you need to define the problem of the community. You need to have a brainstorming and analyzing and deciding. Lastly, encourage community self-integration and understanding. Ito ay nabibigay ng mga access sa mga aktibidad at serbisyong hindi available sa mga hiwalay na kapaligiran. Ito ay nag-aalok ng pagkataong makipag-ugnayan sa iba at ang kasiyahang maging bahagi ng magkakaibang komunidad. Nagbibigay ang pagkakataong matuto ng mga angkop na pag-ugali sa lipunan at gumagawa ng mga bagong mga koneksyon. So, goals of community organizing. First, people's empowerment. It aims to teach how to achieve effective power for the people in order to overcome their powerlessness to develop their capacity to initiate and develop their own plans, assert their right, and stand dignity. So, ang layunin nito ay turuan ang mga tao kung paano makakuha ng epektibong kapangyarihan upang madaig ang mga kanilang kahinaan at patatagin ang kanilang kakayahang maglunsad at bumuo ng sarili nilang mga proyekto na gumagawa ng sarili nilang mga desisyon. Ito ay kanilang mga karapatan at mapanatili ang kanilang dignidad. Then second, building permanent structures and people's organization. Its goal is to build and sustain people's goals in order to maximize their engagement and give a platform for them to connect with other groups and sectors. So it has the potential to be assimilated and used as the foundation for a better future. Then third, improve quality of life. Ito ay nagpapakilos ng mga mapagkukunan na nakatuon upang makakuha at mapatupad ang mga pangunahing pangailangan gaya ng pagkain, clothes, house, education, and health. So, improve quality of life focuses on the perception of community members of what makes life good or not good for them.